Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 24th of March. Starting off with the S&P, and you can see the consolidation just below the 5,700 zone continues. We've had several days of that, looking obviously slightly better to end the week, but really that doesn't mean much. We've got the RSI still below the neutral 50 level, and really just looking for that end of day close above 5,700 to give us a move up to the old January initial 2025 support there. Towards 57.80. On the downside, can't rule out another test of the support line projection from December, 54.75, given that the RSI remains below neutral 50. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and it's almost a repeat of what we're seeing on the S&P chart at the moment. Slightly better price action for Friday, but still not above the 20,000 level really, which is probably what would do the trick. Above 20,000, looking for the old, again, 2025 initial support there, 20,500. But maybe at a stretch up to the 50-day line there, 20,900. But again, with the RSI still below neutral 50, we've got that 19,000 risk at the support line projection from back in December. Going on to the stocks, and starting off with one that I think we've covered before, Allurion. Here you can see that although the chart doesn't look that inspiring, we have had a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down to a new low and then gapping up on Friday, waiting for an end of day close through the 50-day moving average, $4.07, to give us a retest of the $6.80 area, which was February resistance. A bit of work to do there, and we don't really want to see the shares back below the initial 2025 support area, $2.80, but obviously very volatile at the moment as well. Moving on to the situation at Ameriprise, and here you can see that we've got a decent setup in the sense that we've bounced off the old support there from the end of last year. That was around $488, and above that looking for this market to head back to the 50-day line there, $527, perhaps by the end of next month or even sooner. Got the wiggle room down to the March support area, $471, but ideally Friday's low towards 484 was the low that we'll see for the near term. If you're cautious, obviously wait for an end of day close through $500 there before targeting another move to the 50-day line. Cervomed is one of the stocks we've covered quite frequently of late, and you can see why from the share price trajectory. It had the sort of crackpot-looking trend lines there, but you can see that the idea of the shares getting back into that black falling trend channel was a winner, and the range there around $5.70 to $12.35. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of the falling trend channel from the end of last year, in fact the summer of last year, at the $18.30 area, and hoping for that by the end of next month, or hopefully much sooner than that, given the momentum that we've obviously seen here with a massive bear trap rebound for the shares. Moving along to a stock which is also looking pretty strong at the moment, and it's Click Holdings. Here you can see that we managed to escape the resistance zone around $2.10. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of the falling trend channel there, $3.80 by the end of next month. Ideally, we still on the right side of $2.50, given that that was the resistance area on Thursday. Moving along to another new name, which looks like a decent one, which is Fold Holdings. Looks like we've got a rising trend channel there. Top of the channel there, $12, well $13 in fact. We're looking for that by the end of next month. The proviso is that we need to get an end of day close through $8.50. If you're fussy, through the 50-day moving average and above the gap down that we had back in January around the $9.10 area. Above that, $13 beckons by the end of next month. But a nice W-shaped move there, and the gap down to new lows and then the sharp rebound suggests that this is a bear trap rebound that could have legs. Moving along to GREE, and here broadening triangle base. Top of the triangle there, $17.70. Looking for that by the end of next month, or hopefully by the end of next month, if we can get a decent end of day close back above the 50-day moving average at $8.95. And that should be enough to give us the momentum that we are looking for there, especially if we can get a decent gap close signal above that for the top of the February gap there, also around $8.95. Moving along to another fresh name, which is Galecto, and here you can see breaking through recent resistance, $5.80 above that, looking for initially the bottom of the gap there from back in October, $9.20, and then best case would be maybe after a couple, maybe by the end of May, up to $11.80. A bit of work to do there on that situation, but obviously a great move on Friday, and we'd like to see the shares maintain the area above the old $5.70 resistance zone. On to the stock of the day in terms of the move here. Shares up 138%. I believe I covered them on Thursday, so the top rising stock on the US market. The initial target, well, the target there was around $3.75. Above that, you can see that the shares managed to hit the upper parallel of that rising trend channel at just over $6. And we're looking for a retest of that area over the next week or two while we remain above $3.80. But there could be a bit of zigzagging in that range, $3.80 to $6. After the sharp move that we've actually seen, but a great bear trap gap reversal on that situation. Moving on to a stock which I have periodically cover, and it is Luminar. Here you can see a broadening triangle base, nice break of recent resistance around $7.40. Looking for the shares to get to $12.50 by the end of next month, especially if we can maintain the recent breakthrough resistance that we have had. Ideally, we stay above the 50-day line at $5.94 in the meantime. Nice RSI rebound above neutral 50 as well for that situation. On to Lakeshore, and here you can see that we've had a breakthrough, a falling 50-day line there at $2.37. Obviously looking with the shares to hit the top of the range there, $3.80 plus by the end of next month. And nice bounce there, sort of bear trap rebound there from below $1.90 to get the shares on their way. Moving along to Oyster or Ouster. Here you can see that we've bounced off the floor of this broadening triangle, looking for the shares to fill that gap up to $14.24 and maybe up to $15, retesting the January resistance area by the end of next month, or even sooner, given the way the shares are going. Ideally, we stay above that 50-day line, $9.40. Next up is Sky Bioscience, and here another broadening triangle base, but a lot of them at the moment, $4.44 at the top of the triangle. Want to see a proper end of day close back above the December support there, around $2.30. That would be the trigger, hopefully, for a decent move initially to the 50-day line, $2.80, and then up to $4.40 plus as a best case scenario target later in the spring. On to Team, which has already been charted within this rising trend channel. We've had another go at breaking and holding above the 50-day moving average at $16.27. Looks as though maybe it'll be third time lucky for the shares, and we head to the top of the range there at $26 by the end of next month. Nice RSI configuration there as well with the U-shaped turnaround. Hopefully that will give this situation legs. Finishing off with a stock which is in a very fashionable area at the moment, US antimony, and here a really strong looking rising trend channel, rising 50-day line as well. So we're looking for a minimum at 280 at the top of the channel there by the end of next month, hopefully much sooner, as the shares break recent resistance, 2025 resistance on a weekly close basis. Only back below that 50-day line really delays the upside scenario. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.